Hi everyone. Yes, I'm back from the dead. My internet's still been really bad, but I managed to get one of those cordless USB sticks. So I'm gonna give that a try and see if it can last long enough to actually get a video up. I've been good anyway, and moved into a new place and all set out. Anyway, I want to do a vid on vaccinations for children and immune systems for people with Aspergers, and so I thought I'd just kick that one off for you guys. Alright, so let me firstly say that I don't believe in taking drugs unnecessarily. If you have a small flu, for instance, you don't just go to the doctors and get someone to take care of it. You should let your immune system deal with it and provide your body with what it needs, like certain vitamins if you're feeling it. And basically, even some of the more not so good flus and that, I'd rather ride them out with it than go and get antibiotics because you're taking the job away from your body to deal with the situation, and then it becomes less experience because it never actually got the chance to deal with those flus. And then if you get a stronger strain comes along, well, your body's going to deal with it even worse than it would if it actually naturally developed a immune system towards that problem. And so when it comes to vaccinations, I think you really need to be careful with the fact that there's a lot of rumors about the fact that it can cause Asperger's and autism. I don't think that's true. There's no basis on it. There's only the only facts that I can see when I looked it all up was that the proof is that they do save people and they do protect them from it. I was vaccinated when I was young, and I got needles before I went over to Thailand as well. And frankly, I have not had to experience the situation where I've survived because of the vaccinations, but I know I've never contracted anything that's been dangerous to me because of them. And we know that because you know what a vaccination is. It's really just a very minuscule part of the virus put into your bloodstream, so your immune system actually goes, "Oh, this is not good. Let's build a little program to fix this and make sure it never happens." And it doesn't cause brain damages. There's no facts on that. And you know what? The facts are we know that they do save lives, and we know that if people don't have them, they do die. Not always. This is people that are lucky enough not to be affected by some of these bad diseases. But well, frankly, we know the proof is more on the fact that they do protect people's lives. And if there was a small possibility that my kid would, if I had a child, my kid would turn out like me because I got him vaccinated, I would not see a problem with that. I've gotten a bit more of a challenging dynamic in the world, but you know what? I see that as a challenge, and I've built a strong mental aptitude and character strengths because of this. So I don't really see anything bad in that. No, so also back on the immune system. I have had some trouble with my immune system, but it's mostly because I find that people with Asperger's tend to be kind of like canaries to the coal miners. Basically, we start feeling the effects of the situation or environment before everyone else. And this is because it's not for us. It's not an environment that works. It's just people with a neurotypical chemistry tend to be more stubborn in continuing on in bad examples, bad environments, pretty much. And I found that this is very true for people with Asperger's. I know that I get sick earlier on if the course load is way too hard. And I went when I did my course last year before I went away. I got sick. Like I pushed myself really hard and I kept going and I managed to pass the first semester. But I was sick for a month after that and I couldn't go back to school. I couldn't catch up on all the classwork. And it wasn't just me, like everyone else was really feeling the burn too. And a lot of people actually went and spoke to the teachers and got them to bring the workload down because it was too much. It was just unfair on everyone. A lot of these people had part-time jobs just to keep themselves afloat while doing this full-time course. Anyway, I'm just going to say that like I will be susceptible to that kind of stress that doesn't fit, because I was actually trying to compensate for all the information they were giving me that I couldn't process. I had to take that information, go find out the reasons for this information, then come back and reassess it. So my workload was actually a fair bit more. The good thing was it was a very hands-on practical course, so I did have to. A lot of stuff was really quite easy for me. So it took a little workload off some of the other classes and other subjects, if that makes sense to you guys. Anyway, so my immune system's been like that, and I know that when I get to that state, I get really susceptible to dairy and gluten. And I don't have either of these now in my diet because they just don't react well with me. And frankly, we're not meant to be eating gluten. This is something that came about because of agricultural advancements in primeval times. We're not meant to eat grass this much. It's what wheat is. It's grass, and we're eating it too much. It's not meant to be for our bodies. And I think it's funny that all my friends, when I go out with them, always make a big fuss about, oh, we got to make sure we go somewhere for Reece so we can have gluten-free stuff. When I'm just thinking to myself, actually, you guys should think about not going to a place that has this much bread because it's not that good for you. Bread is really not that good for you. It's starchy. It's very full of uh, a lot of whites. Like the white bread, it's just terrible stuff. It's just sugar. You shouldn't be having that much sugar. Anyway, I recommend anyone should just try not having bread or pizza or anything like that for a month, see how they feel. I feel pretty good without it. And plus, I love salads, so I'm pretty sweet. I got myself sorted. What else? I'm hoping this works. I'm gonna be really annoyed if this doesn't upload. I've been wanting to do videos for the last 2 months, but my internet's been completely down and it's been driving me nuts. I've got heaps of stuff to tell you guys. Actually, if this works, I'm gonna upload another video on um, ego dynamics within relationships. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Basically, lately I've come to the understanding that there's a reason why a lot of my relationships never really go far. Like my friends, they do. I've got very deep relationships with a few friends that I've got a very close circle with, and then I have a few people outside of that group that I'm very close with that are like really good friends with me. But I've noticed that being in an intimate relationship with a partner, it's fun and I can be myself at times, but it's not easy, and I have to work around sometimes. But there's always this nagging thought in the back of my head trying to get me to be something else I'm not, and it's hard to explain. I'll explain it in the next video. Anyway, so recommend vaccinations, but it doesn't hurt to do the research. Never does. I have no basis. I have no inclination to say that Aspergers has any connection to vaccinations. It's a genetic thing, not a development disorder. And frankly, there's more evidence than pointing to that lately than I've actually thought. Been doing a lot of research on Neanderthals, and when they reintroduced the species came back into connection with Homo sapien, and how there is actually a defining trait that's actually popping up in Neanderthals, in Homo sapiens, that is a Neanderthal gene. Basically, they think there might be a link to Asperger's in Neanderthals. Basically, Neanderthals were much better with logic and methodical thought and cognitive behavior than Homo sapiens. And blah blah blah, yeah, they died out because they didn't have creativity or whatever. I've heard a lot of conjecture about stuff like that. I don't think that's quite the case. I reckon they just got bred out of existence because the Homo sapien was apparently a lot more interested in sex. Not to say I'm not. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this.